Brilliant and fierce, Pia will be sorely missed. Pia will attend Boston University. Sophia Rain Hamill. The word that keeps coming up for Oliver is passionate. Passionate singer, passionate orator, passionate community member. With an upbeat spirit, dry wit, and undeniable intelligence, Sass will feel Oliver's absence, as will those lucky enough to call him a friend. Oliver will attend Willamette University. Oliver Hamilton. When Lauren is passionate about something, she stops at nothing to do it and to do it well. Her sense of humor, grit, and care for others allows her to translate that heart to all the stages that she enters. Lauren will attend New York University. Lauren L. Hanauer. Now we have a video showcasing athletics.
Every year and every graduating class faces its own set of challenges and opportunities. Our graduating class has been formed by the incredibly unique situations we've been put through, bookended by life-changing historical events, from 9/11 to the financial crisis, entering high school during an election that upended our country, and graduating during a once-in-a-century pandemic. I was born into this world straddling two sides of a canyon. The canyon I'm talking about is not a physical one carved into the ground, but is one of the many divides that are built into the foundation of this country. These canyons separate who this country was built for and from whom it was not. Of the many canyons of privilege that divide this nation, I was born torn between the canyon of financial security and wealth inequality. I was brought into this world out of a simple dream from two sides of that canyon. In one part of the canyon, my mom, Darby, a single disabled mom of two, was forced to work 2 or 3 jobs to keep a roof over her head and food on the table. She faced setbacks that prevented her from obtaining an education or another path towards a more financially stable future. On the other side of the canyon, my dads, Paul and Craig. My dad, Paul, a pediatrician working on dismantling barriers of access to quality healthcare. And my dad, Craig, a national champion swim coach at Seattle U. Both of them living in a world that didn't accept their love or their right to adopt, yet still yearning to have a child of their own. My 3 parents were able to bridge the divide of the canyon. My mom, a phlebotomist at Monroe Valley General, with my dad, became good friends with my dads, and knowing how badly they wanted a child of their own, my mom had me out of the compassion of her heart, working on ways to share me, spending weeks, weekends, and summers between my 3 parents. The widest canyon we as SAS students are most often confronted with is the canyon of financial privilege and wealth inequality. I stand here knowing that in almost no other school would my story be possible. A dyslexic, gay, robotics nerd who's on the lacrosse team and is a student government leader. That combination wouldn't be possible. It just wouldn't. However, I struggle with the fact that SAS had the resources to identify my dyslexia and help me develop the skills necessary to academically succeed. I struggle with the fact that at SAS, I was able to see my identities reflected in the faculty around me and their openness with their identities. We take that for granted here in Seattle, but around the country, even with the new Supreme Court ruling, our country, people are being fired every day when people find out too much about them. I struggle with the fact that my robotics team doesn't have to fundraise the way many of our competitors do, that we have faculty that are dedicated to helping facilitate our team. And I struggle with the fact that my classes were half the average size of the classes just down the street from us, that we had access to high quality after school homework help, and that we had a plethora of extracurricular options. When I think about all of the advantages I've experienced, it's easy to see all of the privileges I've had. I know that had I gone to most other Seattle schools, public or private, I would not have had the social support network to work through my learning challenges, and I know for a fact that I would not be where I am today. But let us be honest with one fact. Private schools were not founded with noble causes. They're founded to segregate schools even further than the public school systems already are, based on the amount of money people's parents have. We know that all of our parents made enormous sacrifices to get us to this school, that our parents just want the best for their children. But we need to be honest with the fact that these schools cost a lot of money to attend and attract wealthy individuals who would otherwise be spending their time, money, and energy solely on the public education system, creating a bottleneck of resources that allowed each of us to succeed. But those resources weren't always available to our neighbors and friends. While we all have our best intentions at heart, these schools uphold systems of oppression and generational castes of the wealthy and well-connected. Yes, SAS offers financial aid to make it more possible for people to attend. Yes, SAS works on ways to better the community around us. And yes, I know that I would not be where I am today without its resources. But we need to work on making those resources more accessible to all so that my story isn't only possible at SAS, rather possible across our city, our state, and our country. SAS has helped me and so many of the graduates in more ways than we could possibly express. However, we must walk out of this experience with a great deal of humility and acknowledgement of the privilege we hold. SAS has prepared us with the tools necessary to use our privilege for good. We know that it's not enough for just some of us to succeed. From Sam Rollins leading the community engagement organization, inspiring our school to do service in the surrounding community, to Sadie Cook and Sydney Grayson working with Planned Parenthood to make sure that everyone has a strong sexual health education. From Isabel Seabrecht making sure that disability awareness wasn't just a priority at our school, but that we were working to dismantle systems that make it harder for those with intellectual disabilities to succeed around our state. To those helping lead the Mental Health Club, Olivia Levitan, Ben Heyman, Zach Cohen, Isaac Minchota, and juniors Isaac Olnett and Jonas Galetta, working to create a coalition with schools across the city to inspire collectivized solutions in preventing further suicides from happening. I leave you now with a challenge. Reflect on your experience here. How will you use the immense privilege of going to Seattle Academy to narrow the canyons around us so that our individual stories aren't just possible here, but are universally achievable? Thank you. Next up, I believe we have an advanced acting video.
My name is Olivia Finkelstein. In the last days of our intermediate acting class in 2018, we were about to present a short play that dealt with the school shooting. That same week, we were confronted with the tragic deaths in Parkland, Florida.